Thank you for tuning in to the Life of KG podcast. We are all about helping you guys in the beauty industry. Whether you're starting out in this industry or been in the business for years, we want to motivate you, educate you, and support you to grow. Enjoy the show.
Hey everyone, welcome back to A Life of KG. So today I get to interview Emily. Emily specialises in lashes and brows. She has a client base and she also has a training academy. Today I wanted to talk to her about her story, her work around her 3 children, and obviously running a business, and touching on having your own training academy. So without further ado, here she is. Emily, thank you so much for coming on the Life of KG. How are you?
I'm really good, thank you. Thank you so much for having me. I am super excited today. Like I said before, I am nervous, but yeah, I thank you so much for having me.
You're so welcome. It's lovely to have you on. So can you please introduce yourself and tell everyone who you are and what exactly you do?
So I am Emily Pitman. I mostly do lashes and brows. That's my thing. I do it part-time to fit around the family, and I also train as well. So I started training in 2019, and then it all just got going and really fully booked, and then COVID. But yeah,
the dreaded C word.
Yes.
So I love to kind of go right back with people. So everyone's got a story. Tell me, what's your story? You can go as far back and in depth as you wish. What made you start in this industry?
I was getting my lashes done and I kept thinking, do you know what? I could do this. And I think it's probably about a year of having my lashes done and thinking I could do this myself. I finally started looking at courses. I absolutely hated my job. I hated it for quite a while. I was a supervisor at Starbucks then. And I was fine there for a bit because I was pregnant and I was going on maternity leave. So there was an end goal in sight as such. And then when I came back from maternity leave, I had to go on to do night shifts, which was fine before babies. But after babies and, you know, driving down all the main roads after no sleep and all that kind of thing, it was awful. I didn't enjoy the job itself. And I think that's what gave me, you know, a kick up the bum to say, come on, you've got to do something. You've got to change the way you're living and earning your income, basically. So I went on to Groupon and booked an £80 course. It was awful, but to me, if I hated it, at least I'd wasted £80.
Yeah.
Rather than wasting £500-600. It was 0.25 swiping the lashes, J curl. Everyone wants a J curl, they said. Everyone, just do a J curl on everyone.
How long ago was this, Emily?
2016.
Okay.
So it was when that wasn't a thing anymore.
Yeah.
But I was already in the lash groups and I was already watching like Frankie Widows on YouTube and things like that. And I can remember sat there thinking, oh my God, I know you're wrong. And I'm not even trained. So I kind of just sat there and got on with it to get the certificate. And yeah, got fully booked really quickly and handed my notice in very, very fast. And that was it.
Oh my God. So obviously you went in with the mindset of knowing, okay, this isn't quite right with this course, like,
yeah,
and need to kind of grow on that, learn on the forums and everything like that. Have you done any courses, like what have you done after that? Have you done any other courses to kind of cement that they were wrong and you knew better, or?
Yeah, so what I did, my husband works 6 days a week, so that's really hard for me to go and do any extra training and things like that. So I was reading everything on all the forums and all the groups and things like that. And when I never really asked questions myself, but when someone else asked a question, I'd read through all the comments and I'd think, oh, I'll try that and see if that works. And that really, really helped. And then I then joined, I did Rachel Bridges' online course. And that was really good because I could just dip in and out when I was ready. I didn't have to go anywhere. I didn't have to do anything. That really helped me quite a lot. And then I've done courses with people like Vicky Rugg. I went to Ariane's event. I've done a lot of online courses, so like Lou Dempsey's NYC, styling courses and things like that. And I've just built on it from there, really.
That's amazing. And isn't it all about like self-development and just keep on learning?
Yeah.
Even if you can't go on them actual courses that are however far away, there's so much online, and like you said, just reading, and these forums are invaluable. Sometimes they have their pros and cons, but you can learn so much from them.
Yeah, definitely.
So what does your place look like now from where you work? Do you work from home?
No, I've worked from home before and I absolutely love it. But now, because I'm training, I need a bigger space. So I rent a room within a bigger building as such. So it's a church based place. I don't know how to describe it. And then all different businesses rent out rooms there. So you've got plumbers, you've got nail technicians, you've got people doing radio, literally everyone that you can think of is there, dance studios. It's brilliant.
Oh, that's so good. And you're a mummy too, right? You have 3?
3, yeah.
Oh my God, Emily, give me some advice. I can't handle one. And I'm 3.
Do you know what? I think it's just picking your battles a lot of the time and just thinking, you know, do I really need to tell them off for that or whatever? And I'm so strict in some ways, really strict. And then in other ways, mine are jumping off the sofas. They've got the music on loud. They'll be in the pants, singing into a hairbrush, stood on the table. And at first you're like, oh my God. But then I just think, well, what harm are they doing? Yeah. They're just enjoying themselves. And yeah, I just have to go with the flow and pick my battles.
Yeah, so obviously at the moment, as we're recording this, we are homeschooling.
Yeah.
Where are your children right now as you're recording this?
Harry is downstairs. Isla is at nursery and Ollie is out with his dad.
Oh, okay. So my little girl is in my bedroom. So obviously as we're recording right now, it's 10:10 in the morning. I've set her up a little den in my bedroom. Told her she's not allowed out. Got her loads of snacks, and she's got the dog in there as well because I didn't want the dog barking. And fabulous. Yeah, I've just gone down to Harry and I said, right, I am about to go on my Zoom. And I was like, what? Mum's going on Zoom? And I'm like, yeah, I've got to go on Zoom for work. And he's like, oh. So I'm like, right, any snacks you want, anything, tell me now, and then don't come up to me. So he's like, yeah, get me the crisps, get me this, get me that. But as long as he's quiet, that's fine. Yeah, definitely. I'm the same. Just give her what she wants. Just give me like half an hour. Yeah. Disturbance. She goes to me now, oh, mummy, that's absolutely fine, because she loves it that I just let her get on with it. Yeah, that's what he's like. He's like, I'll be fine. It's okay. I'm good. Independent children we're bringing up. Yeah, 100%. So being a mummy and running a client base and a training academy, how do you balance that? I have got no idea, to be quite honest. When I look back at what I'm managing, I don't know how I do it. My husband works 6 days a week, so I pretty much run the whole of the household. He doesn't get home till 7:30 every night.
I try a lot of the time to do all my messages and things like that in one go for work, and then I try and then switch off from it and do my mum thing then as well. I get the kids involved with things around the house, so they'll all be doing the housework and putting the shopping away and things like that, just so it's not all me doing it. And with homeschooling, I don't do it all. I just think we're not teachers. It's a pandemic. We do what gets us through, what's achievable, rather than this massive list that the school's given us to do.
Babes, I'm 32 lessons behind.
I don't even know what I am like. I've barely done any of it. They do their Zooms. We go out on walks. We do baking and things like that. But I haven't got a clue about all these things they're talking about in the mum's WhatsApp groups, because I haven't looked. What's the point? They're going to recap it all anyway. Yeah, but you know, my kids are good, and my husband's a really good support as well. My friends are all really supportive as well. So I think having people around you definitely helps to manage everything as well.
Yeah, and I think when life's normal, and when it was normal before, it's just routine, isn't it? And getting into that routine. And I think the kids are so what's the word? They just get on with it, and they're really good at just like changing for what needs that we need them to do. Especially if they're brought up that way with mums in business and things like that. Yeah. They just get used to it, don't they?
Yeah. It's like last Thursday, I went into work with Harry to set up and things like that, and he literally just lay on my beauty bed with the phone and just lay there, and I sorted all my room out, and he's just fine. He's just not bothered. He's like, I'm fine, Mum, this is the best day ever. And they just get used to it.
Definitely. Let's go on to treatment. So you're known as the Queen of Brows. You love brows, right? I do. You love lashes brows as well, but like brows, I know, seems to be your thing. Can you give us any tips of how you kind of make your treatment stand out to others? And is there any extra special things that you do for clients to make their experience, you know, stand out and be more amazing? At the moment in my membership club, Coffee, Cake and Chat, is for salon owners, and this month we concentrated on going that extra mile with your clients. And they really like that. So I wondered if there's anything that you do in your salon that is going the extra mile for your clients when it comes to brows, or any services that you do.
I've always been about going that extra mile from the beginning. Some salons prefer to do a very quick brow wax, done, off you go, and have a massive turnover. But me, I prefer to book out extra time for my clients. I like to know that I've got the extra time, so that if they need a bit more of a chat, or their brows are going to take that little bit longer, or their lashes or anything like that, I've got that time and I'm not rushing through. There's a lot of times when they'll be ready to go and I'm like, hold on, that's not right, you need to sit back down, I need to sort that out. It would be very easy for me to just ignore it and for them to walk out the door, but my clients love and respect that I will point out if there's something that I need to change. And I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm so perfectionist with it all. And they're like, do you know what? I love it. They know that they've got that time with me to get it right. And I think it does make a massive difference. I also do little bits and bobs for free for them. I don't give them loads for free, but for example, if they're coming in for their brows, they will get a free lip wax with it. It doesn't really cost me anything more, but they absolutely love it. I like to give them free little bits of aftercare, like when they come for brow lamination. I include the aftercare, so like the castor oil and all things like that, in the price, rather than them paying extra for the aftercare as well. I also have like a coffee machine, so they can take a coffee away with them. So a lot of the time I'll say to my clients, well, what are you doing now? And they're like, oh, I'm just going to Starbucks to get a coffee. But I've got all little takeaway cups, and then they can take their coffee with them.
I actually love that. Like, that's such a good idea. Like, we're really big on refreshments, branded cups and all of that kind of thing. But to actually give a takeaway service, that is such a good idea.
It's it annoys me when you're getting your lashes and brows done, because you can't just sit there with a tea or a coffee or anything.
Yeah.
Whereas when you get your nails done, you can. So I just think it's that little bit extra that they can, take with them. And then if you do have your branded cups, they're then walking around with your branded cup around wherever they go.
I love that. I'm going to implement that. Thanks.
Yeah, no, do it. It's great. I love it.
We had a client, obviously on lockdown, that sorry, when we come back off lockdown, not in lockdown. No one dobbed me in. And it was the time when we come back and we wasn't allowed to offer refreshments.
Yeah.
And like I said, we're big on refreshments. And she had travelled from Essex, and we were in Bedfordshire, so she travelled over an hour away to come to us. She's a regular, and she loves coming in for her coffee. And we couldn't do it. And I felt so bad, because then we couldn't offer the disposable cups or anything like that. But I had the disposable cups thinking we was allowed to when we was prepping opening the salon.
Yeah.
So no one was allowed any drinks unless they brought their own water. And I found it really difficult. This client had travelled like over an hour to be with us, and she couldn't have her latte that she always has with 2 sugars every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And you could tell it really damaged the experience for her.
Yeah.
And then she's had her nails done. Now she's going to have to drive home another hour plus. And I thought, and just then I was like, I'm going to do your coffee to take away. You're not having it in here then. You can have white. And she was just so over the moon by it. Like, it does make such a difference to clients. And the thing is, to go for a coffee is a treat, because it's like, what, £3-4 for a coffee? When it doesn't cost that, and we can give them that, and it is a treat like that. So I loved that. So if I was doing that to every client like you do, I think that's such a wonderful idea.
Yeah, when my husband goes to the barbers pre-COVID, they would get offered a beer, a wine, a can of Coke, anything out the fridge, and he'd love it, because he'd go and get his hair done and have a beer at the same time. So
it is really just, it is really just going that extra mile with people, isn't it? And I think, especially as women and men, but when we're so busy, we've got our children, we've got houses to run, we've got our jobs, life is hectic for every single person. And I think giving the client that time in the salon, and don't get me wrong, I have teams, I'm running a very busy salon, I'm very strict with times, but I give enough time for them to be able to give the whole service how they really should.
100%.
And that there's nothing worse than going into a salon and feeling like you're being rushed.
Yeah.
It's the worst feeling. I've been there in other salons where you just feel like a part. They just want to get you out because they're running late because of the next and they need to get the next person in.
Yeah.
And when you want that experience just to be chilled, because life is so crazy, it's so important for a therapist to be able to give that.
Yeah, I hate for my clients to feel like I'm shoving them out the door. My clients very, very rarely cross over, ever. And although there might only be 5 minutes between them, they never feel like they're being shoved out the door because the next person's coming in. It just kind of comes to a natural close. You finish your conversation, you book them in for next time, and then they go. And then I get 2 minutes breather, and then the next client comes in. But I do think it makes a massive difference, both for us and for the client.
Yeah, definitely. It's just more chilled, isn't it? Which is how it should be when you go in to get treatment done. Yeah,
definitely.
So you do education. Do you educate for brands, or do you educate for your own training courses?
I do my own courses. I've always done my own courses. I don't know how I'd feel about doing it under another brand, because then you've got to kind of stick to their rules and things like that. So if I ever went under another brand, it would have to be someone that, I've got 100% the same beliefs as and things like that. But I absolutely love educating.
Do you?
Yeah, 100%. I really enjoy it. I love making it quite practical. So I'll smash through all the theory in the morning, and then I like to then like have a play around with things. So like if I'm doing a spray tanning course, we'll get the tent out, we'll be pinging it up and pinging it down, and it's popping everywhere, and I'll be getting them water in the gun and things like that. And it just makes it so much more fun rather than, just sat there listening and being really monotonous.
What courses do you offer them?
So I offer spray tanning, classic, lashes, Russian, straight to volume, but I only wrote that in lockdown, so I've not done any of them yet. Highly defined brows, henna brows, brow lamination, and I think that's everything.
Wow, that's a lot of courses.
Yeah, it is. Lashes and brows and then spray tanning.
Yeah,
so it sounds like a lot, but then when you kind of see what it is, they all fit together.
Yeah, definitely. And obviously everyone's thing in our industry is kind of like, if you're a good lash tech or a good nail tech or whatever it is that you're good at, everyone then goes on to training. And I think a lot of people feel that pressure, that it's something that they have to do, like that's the next step in their career. But how, sorry, my dog's barking, the door's barking. Joy's from working from home. But how did you find doing your own courses? Like, it's not as easy as what people think, is it? I mean, the whole application process, writing your own manuals, like, it's so hard.
Yeah, I think it was a natural step for me because before I was at Starbucks, I worked at McDonald's for about 5 years. I was one of the managers there. So McDonald's is very heavy on training. Their training, as much as I would never ever work there again, their training is really good. The way they teach you to train is very good as well. So it was something that I previously enjoyed and knew that I enjoyed developing other people and helping other people. So for me, it was more of a natural step, rather than assuming it was a natural step, because I've been doing lashes for so many years now, and then you have to train. So I found it easier in that way. But like writing the manuals and knowing what order to put things in, it's so hard in the beginning, because although you do your AET and they teach you how to do things, my dog's starting now as well. They can't teach you everything. I think a lot of it comes from starting to teach and thinking, right, well, I'm going to change this differently and I'm going to do that another way. And speaking to other people in the industry, and they say, well, I do it this way, can I do it that way as well? And getting ideas from people is great as well. It's really helpful to talk to other people. And what I do as well is I've written myself a blank manual. So my manual will have, this blank manual will have my front cover, a contents page, and then I put in generic information. So it would then say, for example, like an about me, an introduction to the course, and I would leave out the things that are specific to that course. And then when I then write a new course or new manual, I will take my blank manual and then edit it all to be specific to that course. And by having the structured framework there, it's so much easier.
Yeah, that's a really good idea. Really good idea. And I bet you learned so much from your previous jobs when it comes to training. Like, I know a lot of the time that we don't like what we do in our previous jobs, and obviously we've got this ambition to leave, but the skills and stuff that we learn from our past experience is just amazing, isn't it?
100%. And you go and you learn to do lashes, but you don't really learn about customer service or complaint handling or anything like that. You just learn how to do lashes. So I do really feel like from previous roles and jobs that we've had, we can bring those skills in and use them as a lash tech, a salon owner, whatever we are, and make us better at our jobs.
Yeah, definitely. I love that. What's next for you, Emily? What's your vision for the future? I know we've been set back about a year, but a lot of us have still been really busy in that year, kind of planning, and all of our plans have changed, or we've been excited for what's to come. Like, what's next for you?
I really want to take a lot of the things that I do online. So I've started with online training. So I do online brow lamination training and online lash lift training. So I want to revamp them, make them bigger and better. Because when I initially did them, it was like, quick, get them out, you know, and so many people did that. But I think it was more as well because we thought it was going to be a month or two and then we'd be back to normal, we'd be teaching in person. But I really think taking things online is the way forwards now. I think so many people are loving doing things online. It can't cover everything online, of course. There's what's the word? There's some stuff you can only learn in person, but I just think there's a massive market for it. And as well, with having the 3 children, that gives me so much more time with them by taking things online as well.
Definitely. And I feel that we've done online training for about 5 years now, and we'd only got 2 of our courses online 5 years ago, and now obviously we've got more because of lockdown. And there's always been this thing of industry of don't do online courses and this and that. And I'm always understood both people's opinions, because I think you will always learn loads in person, but there are always some type of students that, you know, maybe suffer with anxiety that couldn't come to even a one-to-one, let alone a group, or people that can't travel, or people with children and stuff like that. And with my online courses, I always realised that when they're doing their case studies, their work was incredible. Like, it was very unusual if I had to say, no, you didn't pass any more case studies. Like, so many of them done amazingly, and I was like, how are these online students producing such amazing sets of lashes, especially, well, classic and volume both. I mean, classic, they haven't even picked up tweezers before, yet they could bash out these classics that were just incredible. And volumes, how were they getting their fans from watching videos and not having me there in person, even though they had me behind the scenes? I was like, this is actually incredible. And I think it is purely because they haven't got that pressure of, you know, having to do it in a day. They have got that to, you know, to do whenever they want, or that nervousness of us watching them and things like that. But then on the other hand, our in-house courses are so much popular. And it's like, we've obviously got more of our courses online now, but people still want to wait for in-house, and there are obviously the people that do the online, but it's so much popular in-house. And I don't know why, because online is definitely the way forward now.
I think there is definitely a stigma towards it. And I did an online course in the first lockdown. I thought, you know what, it's only 20 quid. I'll give it a go, see how it is. And it was awful. It was really bad. I ended up getting my money back. But there's also a lot that are cheaper, that are really good, but people assume that because they're online, because they're a certain price, they're not good. But a lot of the time I will have like WhatsApp calls with my students. We'll be voice noting each other, I'll be sending them videos, and it's an ongoing thing. I still speak to a lot of my students from the first lockdown. We're constantly back and forth, we've formed friendships, they'll ask me questions still. Whereas I think people assume with an online course, you pay your money and that's it, you're gone. But I still offer the aftercare and the support, and I'm still there for them, whether it's online or face-to-face. And I think it's a complete game changer, especially because my students know they can message me and ask me anything. And I don't mind, I don't care. That's what I offer.
It's definitely about them doing their research, isn't it? Like what they're going to get for a £20 course. Like, no offense to the people that are doing the £20 courses, but you're not going to get that with a higher price course. It's filmed differently. It's created differently.
Yeah.
Like the service that you get afterwards is different. Like it does all depend on the course.
100%.
Definitely. But Emily, thank you so much for coming on.
Yeah,
it's been an absolute pleasure talking to you. Where can people connect with you online?
So I'm mainly on Instagram and Facebook, and it's at Emily Pitman UK.
Wonderful. So everyone go and follow Emily, drop her a message if you have any questions. I'm sure she'd be more than happy to reply. And just thank you so much for your time. You can get back to your babies now.
Oh no, thank you so much.
If you love this episode, please share and tag us on social media at KG Salon.
I always follow them.
If you're a salon owner and would like to join our membership program, coffee, cake, and chat, get in touch for a space. Be around a like-minded tribe. Have 400 pounds worth of mentoring a month. And push yourself to the next level.
I love being a part of such a great community.
Until next time, have an amazing, successful week.